naturally. Today we'll be making a nature jar and describing what a nature jar is.
So, hope everybody is having a great weekend. Happy Halloween weekend. We've been super festive over here and we just decided to take a break, and Elise had collected some really cool stuff at one of her camps recently. So we wanted to show you how to make a nature jar.
A nature jar is basically you go outside, collect any cool things like moss, cool rocks, mushrooms, really cool leaves that you found, really anything that is like nature.
Anything you find like super cool, like speaks to you.
Like flower petals or something like that, berries, anything like that. And you just put them in a jar and it can look really cool, or it can just be like just memories. Like look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I found all this stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a really cheap, inexpensive way to be able to like collect things and show them off. I don't know if anybody else has like a huge collector, but Elise is like a huge collector, especially when outside. She has been since she was super tiny. So, you know, you like always end up with these huge piles of just like treasures that you find. And a nature jar is a really cool way to show them off. So you can use any jar. See, this is like the cool thing because it's super cheap. You have everything that you need at home probably, and then you just find stuff outside. So this was a recycled jar that I used from like a drink, and I just peeled the label off, washed it, dried it, and then this was a nature jar that we made just from finding things outside like on a walk and things that Elise collected and thought was super cool. So she has rocks in here, there's moss, tree bark, there's some really cool pretty dried flowers, and then you just layer it in here, pop a top on it, boom, there you go, nature jar. And it also is pretty cool because you can kind of like make it into a vacation jar as well, like collect treasures from like a special vacation. This was from our beach trip last year, and we spent the whole week that we were there just like collecting tons of seashells, and then at the end of the week we went through and picked out our favorites and we made a really cool vacation jar. So this one has sand from Cocoa Beach in it in Florida, and then seashells, beach glass. I actually think there's a feather, crab leg. So yeah, just like anything that you find super cool. It's just a really good way to keep it as a treasure instead of just having like this massive pile in your house. So yeah, you wanna get started here?
Yeah.
We will show you. Let's see. So this was a jar. I actually picked this up at Goodwill because Elise has some bigger stuff here that she's going to put in it, and I needed something wide mouth. I paid $2 for this though, so, you know, definitely not super expensive. And where did you collect all this stuff?
From hiking club. I just started picking some stuff up. Just some stuff I thought was really interesting. Some really cool rocks and just stuff like that. So I'm gonna start off.
Do you want to show them what you have in here before you?
So we got some. This is moss. This is just dried moss. It's super crispy, super breakable, but it's super cool. Some more hoops of moss. I got just like a part. This is a dried fern.
That looks like fern, yeah.
This is about as dry as it's gonna get. We got some really cool tree bark, very shiny. We have a mushroom that is like very solid, like you can squeeze it.
That dried out really cool.
And it does not break, or at least this one.
It's like looks like a sponge.
So then I just got a tiny
mini pine cone.
We got a top of a mushroom. I couldn't identify it. All of this stuff is dried out so nicely.
It's been a couple weeks. We're just finally getting around to putting it in here, so.
We got some more plants. These are just like seeds that like blow away in the wind, and I managed to get some without them all falling off. I got just like a leaf. I think that was not purposefully in there, but we'll add it in anyways. We got some moss that did not dry out, and this has all been in for the same amount of time. I have no idea why that did not dry out. I have this little spotted leaf from just like a tree, and it hasn't gone like totally brown at all or started falling apart. Then I got a few rocks.
Then we have some cool rocks. So now you just kind of get to layer it in here however you want it.
I'm gonna start with putting the moss at the bottom, just some cushioning, really cool. If I can just like squash it down a little bit so it kind of fits better and is not all clumped, just like a little carpet at the bottom.
A little carpet. It's almost like a fairy garden.
Yeah.
I think this is great for kids of all ages because like I think this is something Elise would have really enjoyed when she was really little as a way to showcase her treasures, her nature treasures. But she's 11 and she still loves collecting and just having a place to put it all. Otherwise, you just have handfuls of stuff in your pockets.
So this is a little bit too big to fit, and I'm just gonna break it in half.
You could like put it kind of like around the edges.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted.
I'm just gonna scooch it up.
That's cool.
And we just found a way to fit that in without even breaking it, or she did. So I'm gonna put this right here, just like cushion it in there. I'll put this kind of at the side, but like going upwards, so it's not like just totally smashed into the bottom. You want it to look pretty too. I'll put those seeds in, this piece of moss, this little dried leaf. I probably should have put this leaf in earlier, but I'm just gonna tuck it around the edges. And it doesn't really make a difference when you put it around the edges. I'll put the top of the mushroom right there. Then just like plop some rocks on the sides. It's okay if you go to the bottom because you're not going to be looking at it from the top, usually just from the sides. So just put those in. Then we got our little mushroom. I'm just going
He's cool.
to move some things around. Sometimes you just gotta move some things around.
Give it like a good look.
Now we got a perfect fit for this little nature
Kind
jar.
of show the top. There you go. That's our nature jar. I think one little tip I'm kind of noticing as we're putting this together, if you use something wide mouth like this or a mason jar, you'll be able to, if you wanted to eventually empty things out, you could recycle the jar again. Something that has like a small top like this, it's going to be difficult to get all this material back out of here and reuse the jar, like if you wanted to just make a fresh nature jar. So that's just a quick tip in case you're thinking of just keeping it for a little while and then just making a new one. But there you have it. Super simple, really cheap, great way to collect and keep all your nature treasures.
And sometimes when you collect things like leaves or like dried flowers and stuff, you might just want to like dump it out and make a new one because it's not so pretty after a while, after it gets totally dried out.
Yeah.
So
there you go, guys. You know, if you make a nature jar, definitely let us know in the comments and let me know what your special treasure was from your hunt. And we look forward to hearing from you guys. Check us out on Instagram.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more amazing content.
All right, bye guys. Have a happy Halloween.